Hello and welcome to Maths with Fateh, and we're going to study changing the subject of a formula. This topic is extremely important as it also has your knowledge to be able to simplify questions when you come across functions and to find inverses of functions, which we'll just be doing some basic questions, and we have four questions. So when we proceed, I'll show you different types of questions and increase the complexity of the questions as we move along. So let's look at the simpler ones first. So, question number one is asking us to, in each of the following cases, make the letter in this brackets the subject of the formula. So, I just look at the bracket, which is A here, and what I need to do is I need to make A the subject of the formula. So, what I need to do is I just need to take the X here onto the other side. And if I do that, the sign changes where A is now the subject, and I have my answer as A is equals to B subtract X. For the next one, I have to convert B into the subject, and I'll do the same thing. I'll take the minus K over to the other side, and I'll simply get B would be equals to H plus K. And there is my answer. For the third one too, it's a really simple business. S should be isolated to make this the subject. So I get S is equals to A square B subtract 3AB. And I've actually made S the subject of the formula. And the same way for part D, they're asking me to make Y the subject, where I see that X squared is being actually multiplied by Y is equals to 5K minus 4. When in terms of left hand side and right hand side, if I see some value being multiplied by the other value, and if I change the sides, since I had to make Y the subject, X square would simply divide the next term. So there I have my answer as Y being the subject. All right, let's look at more questions, slightly more complex. So this one, question 2 is asking us the same thing. In each of the following cases, make the letter in the brackets the subject of the formula. So what do? I have to isolate C, which means since they're multiplying, X when taken to the other side would simply divide, which means A over B is being divided by X. And I know that in place of division of fractions, they're multiplied. So finally, for C to be the subject, it is C is equals to A upon BX. And there you're done with that. All right, for part B, I have to isolate D, which means I could simply write it as 3K times D is equals to 15X over 7Y. I've managed to isolate D. Now all I need to do is take 3K over to the other side where it's going to go and divide. So 15X over 7Y is being divided by 3K over 1. And for fraction divisions, I know that the fraction after the division sign is a reciprocal, and then the division sign changes into a multiplication sign. So for D, I'm getting D as a subject would be 15x over 21ky. Just being careful about the alphabetical positions, so k stays first and y goes afterward. All right, for part C, I have to convert G, isolate it, and then turn it into the subject. I would first move T over onto the other side and multiply it by the numerator T. So EG is equals to T squared over 5n plus 4. Finally, I get to move E to the other side. So E has to be multiplied with the denominator or just be taken to the other side where it will divide. I could write it as G is equals to T square over 5n plus 4 is being divided by E over 1. Or I could say G is equals to T squared over 5n plus 4 is being multiplied by 1 over E. And finally, for G to be the subject, it's T squared over E times 5n plus 4. And there we are. All right, for this is also a very simple question. I have to make H here the subject. So the first thing I'll do is I'll start to isolate H, which is I need to take M over to the other side. So root V upon m is equals to h plus c. Take the positive c over to the other side where it becomes a root v over m, subtract c is equals to h, and my subject has been done. H has been isolated to become a subject. All right, for question number 3, now there is a simple problem here. I have a on both sides. What do I do? My simple trick would be to bring a or any other subject which is in two different places, to bring it onto one single common side, and uh, then to bring it onto one simple side and then to solve it. So I'll simply in this case expand the bracket. I'm going to get ay plus py is equals to 2aq minus q squared. All right. Now I get to bring 2aq onto this side and take the py over to the other side. So ay subtract 2aq is equals to minus q squared, and then minus py. I take a as common, so y minus 2q is equals to minus q squared minus py, and then because everything is multiplying on the left hand side, I could take the whole bracket. I would move this whole bracket, the green part, onto the other side and divide. So a as a subject becomes a is equals to minus q squared minus py divided by y minus 2q, and there, that way I have uh, A to be the subject. All right. For part B, I need to make C the subject. So what do I do? I keep everything the way it is. The left hand side, k times m plus c, but I take m over to the other side and multiply by 4. So I get 4m upon x. Keeping in mind that I have to convert c into the subject, I'll also take k over to the other side. So m plus c is equals to 4m, and then this k multiplies by with the x, so I get kx on the bottom. All right. And then finally I get to, because I need to isolate c, I'll take the positive m over to the other side, which gives me c is equals to 4m over kx subtract m, and that way c becomes my subject. All right, for part c, this would require quite a working. Let me see. I will first take the LCM here, and by taking the LCM, I see that D becomes the LCM, the common denominator, and I would write it as 1 plus CD is equals to B upon D. All right. Now, I see that I have D on both sides. So it is possible for me to cancel out both D's at the same time because they're redundant. They're of no more use to us. So I could simply say 1 plus CD is equals to B, or isolate D. I would have to take the B, the 1. The first thing I'll do is I'll take 1 onto the other side. Hold a second, I just have to correct that. That is equals to a B. Yeah, CD is equals to B minus 1. And in this case, D is just going to be B minus 1 over C. And there we go. We have our subject made for part D as well. Okay, finally for part D, I see that I have to make J the subject. The same thing is happening. I have J two times here, which is for the numerator and the denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply. So y times 7 minus 4j is equals to 7bj plus k. All right, expand the bracket on the left hand side. So it's 7y minus 4jy is equals to 7bj plus k. Bring the j's onto one common side. So I'll take this whole thing onto the next side and I'll bring the k over to this side. So 7y minus k is equals to 7bj plus 4jy. Okay. For the right hand side, I can take j as the common variable and then factorize, which is 7b plus 4y. And if I need to isolate j, I will take this whole expression onto the other side and divide 7y minus k with the 7b plus 4y, and that is how I made j the subject. So that is it for today, children. I hope I cleared your concepts, and keep on watching my videos. Thank you.